Hey Derek. Hey Daniel, how you doing? Well, I told you before, you guys, that I had a bit of carver's block. And I figured I'm going to get back in the garage and I'm going to just bust it out. So that's what I'm doing. So this is the pipe I started. It's going to be a bent pipe. It's going to be rusticated. Yep, it's kind of an apple shape. And it's going to have quite a nice bend in it, hopefully. So it's roughly shaped because it's going to be rusticated. I'm first going to give it an undercoat. And then I'm going to give it a... start rusticating. I'm only going to give it a quick undercoat, let it dry for a few minutes, and then get cracking with rusticating. I mean, really and truly, this could be a very nice smooth pipe. It's actually got some really nice grain. But I decided that I'm going to do a rusticated pipe, so that's what I'm going to do. So what I've learnt recently is that by undercoating it before rusticating it, it just helps with the double tone, the dual tone. The problem with paintbrushes is that you have to clean them, and they just get hard and brittle. This, you just use them and chuck them, and pretty much every pipe carver that I see on YouTube does the same thing. It's just the simplest thing to do. Hey Jimmy. No, I didn't set up a cot. Although John Keller did. He's got a hammock in his workshop. I haven't got a room for a cot in mine. This really does have some nice grain, I must say. The roof, well, it did flap around quite a bit, and the tarpaulin is slightly hanging over, so I do need to get up there and make sure that it's back on where it's supposed to be, but generally speaking it didn't do too badly. No leaks, which is the main thing. How do you purchase one of my pipes? Well, generally speaking, at the moment I don't have a website. So as soon as I finish my pipes, I usually do a short video on here, on this channel. So set your notifications, and you'll simply get a new video coming up saying LCS Briars pipe number, the next one I think is going to be 93. And then you just jump on it. If you see it, you email me. If you want it, you can have it. Simple as that. Really straightforward. No worries. Well, the stem. This is my false stem, which I use when I'm staining. It's not the actual stem. The stem is going to be this one here, which is a Saddlebit Cumberland acrylic. So what you been up to, Jimmy? How's the new little pooch? All house trained? Hey, George. But like I said, I don't like to get beaten, so I figured I'm going back into the workshop. And we've got a little apple-shaped pipe going on. Going to be fully rusticated, just with a smooth top rim. That's very cool, Jimmy. And I bet your last dog is looking and is very proud of you. Not sure if there's a doggy heaven, but if there is, I'm sure he's very proud of you. Restoring the Peterson with nails? No, not yet. That's going to be for another rainy day. Apparently these are quite rare. I didn't know that, but somebody who saw a picture of it couldn't believe it, because he's got one of these and he's been looking for years to get another one. He says they're from around the 1970s. Nowadays they're all done by machine. You can tell that the rustication is very uniform on the modern ones, the Donegals. But these ones, you can see that they're actually hand rusticated. And so he thought he was the only one because he could never find one. But I don't know if he was hinting that I should maybe give it to him or sell it to him or whatever, but we'll see. First I've got to restore it, and we'll see about it afterwards. Wondering what that smell was. The heater under my desk, warming my feet, and it was warming up my leather apron. I'm starting to smell like roast meat, and it was just the leather warming up, I think, which was on some beef previously. Barking at everybody, cool. Well, look, I don't know what the next world to come is, but one thing's for sure, everything that has life has some form of spirit, and whether it's the same as human beings or not the same doesn't really matter. It's, you know, it's where your heart is, and you gave that dog your heart, and she gave it to you as well, and now you've got it with another dog, Dexter. And that's just the way it goes. Cycle of life. Monk Claude, how you doing? Yeah, I've probably already got it. I do wake up with aches and pains in my fists. It's part and parcel, I think, of this kind of thing. You know, Jim Cook, he's got his hands in supports all the time because of the sandblasting that he does. Right now it is 1:30 a.m. and I decided that I'm going to crack my carver's block and get started on a new pipe. This is the pipe that I originally intended making today, and I just caught up making that other pipe, trying to fix it up. Actually, I can show it to you. I mean, this is what it was going to look like. This is a Cumberland stem I made myself, which is a rarity, but there you go, and it worked out pretty well. And the shape was kind of mirroring the shape of that, and that's how it was looking, and it looked fantastic, it really did. And then this darn thing snapped. So there we go. So I'll put it in the drawer of shame, and we'll get back to it at some point. Hello, Durango, Colorado. Dude Reviews. Yeah, the drawer of shame. I've got half a dozen stumbles in there, which I have to revisit. Truth is, I've got drawers behind me, and there's bits of sort of started jobs all over the place, or jobs that I finished but I want to revisit. I think all carvers have those, you know, a bin somewhere with projects which they're halfway through and then they promise themselves that they're going to revisit. Cabinet of shame, yeah. A bit like the Tory government. A bit of political humour there for you. Yeah. I don't have a wood fire here, otherwise I probably would be sticking some in the fire. Taking shape nicely. Sea Smokes most definitely is. Click on his icon and you'll get to his channel. you click on anybody's icon when you're on a live, you get the option to go to their channel direct, and it'll open it up in another window. It's one of the good ways of getting to know people around the YTPC. You go into a live show, you get into a conversation, you like what the guy's saying, click on their channel and subscribe. One of the best ways I know of subscribing to people that you feel that you can relate to. Yeah, off you go, Sea Smokes, no problem. I'm not sure how long I'm going to stay on for, we shall see how this goes. I want to get this rustication in, and maybe another coat of stain. We'll see from there. Yeah, absolutely, George. Ciao. Ooh, I don't know about that. They definitely ache. I'm not sure about them being pumped. In fact, my bicep here is killing me. The bicep and the one next to it, because I'm pushing against this to get that depth. And that really, it's not a muscle always that you use unless you're pumping, which I don't. And it does get a little bit achy. You do have to, it depends on the type of rustication that you want. You can do a very light, literally just tickle it and it will rusticate it, but it'll be very, very shallow. And if you do a little bit of sanding, or you do a little bit of with the brush, the wire brush, you kind of lose the definition. And I've just got used to the type of force that I've got used to the type of force that I use. You can use a Dremel to rusticate, but you won't get this finish. Not with a Dremel, no. I mean, I used to rusticate with the Dremel. If you guys remember, I used to do that golf ball rustication, and that was done with the Dremel. And I quite liked that. I mean, that really started me off, that golf ball rustication. I used that on the first pipe I ever made. Well, the first pipe in that I started numbering anyway, that I could call semi-decent. Dremel is a great tool. I mean, it does give you shortcuts on certain tasks, but I find that with most things that you want to have a decent finish on, you just got to put the effort in. You got to put the elbow grease into it. And I don't find. I mean, maybe there are people that can do it, but I don't find that I can get this finish with a Dremel. So I'm going to leave that a bit smooth. It's going to need a bit of sanding because I left it quite rough actually. Ibuprofen, yeah, I do take that quite often. I take some stronger stuff than that when I need to, some naproxen, which is a stronger version of ibuprofen. Actually very good stuff. But I keep away from meds as much as I can, to be honest. I only take it when it's really, when I'm in trouble. Try to keep as much chemicals out of my system as I can. Hey Josh. It's that kind of shape, George, apple, brandy, that kind of, that kind of shape. This is where we're at. Really liking the way this is turning out. Could have gone either way. I could have gone smooth with this one, but I had my mind set on rusticating it, so. By the way, Josh, you know that pipe that I'm holding? Are you wanting that small one as well? Well, I've been holding that as well. I have actually thought of making pipe stands, and oftentimes when I'm carving a plateau block, I often try to carve it out of one piece when I take the plateau off, and I kind of think to myself I might try and do something with that, but so far I haven't. Same old, same old. Can't find something which is right in front of my eyes. There it is. Cold coffee, anyone? Freezing cold coffee, actually. Well, sorry, there's not much talking, but I'm just getting on with the work. Any of you guys just interested in watching, by all means, but don't feel obliged to hang around. You want to start topics, I'm more than happy to oblige. Yeah, it will be stained. It's I put a quick coat on before, but I'm gonna finish sanding and the rustication, which is now done. But I'm gonna finish sanding it. I'll sand the smooth areas to quite a high grit, and then I'll stain it and leave it overnight. And then we'll come back to it tomorrow. I'll hit it with a wire brush, stain it again, and that'll be it. Hopefully that'll be ready. And obviously I'll do the contrast work on this bit here and on these smooth bits, and that's it. Any tobacco reviews? I do still have a couple that I need to do, in all honesty. I've been so sort of caught up in making pipes, and now with the Matches tribute pipe, that I just haven't really got around to it. I almost did a cigar review last night, but I just smoked it, to be honest. I took out a Cohiba Robusta, which I haven't had in ages, probably a year and a half. I bought a single one. The last time I bought some cigars, I just bought a single because I just fancied having one again. So I was going to do an update on that because I'm pretty sure that I've done a video on the Cohiba Robusta before. But it's been so long, I thought I'd do another video, but it was already getting quite late and I just didn't fancy sort of being up for another 2 hours. I probably ended up being up another 2 hours, but that's besides the point. Anyhow, I'm going to go over to the sander now, so I'm going to call it a day. That's where we're at, and once we're finished with the staining tomorrow, I'll bend that stem. I'll give it quite a decent bend, and that'll be a really nice bent pipe, hopefully. I can't remember which tobaccos they are, to be honest, Montclair. I've got at least 2 sitting waiting, but I don't remember what they are. And I think I've even put them away now because I wasn't expecting to do them in the near future, but I appreciate you asking, and I'll try and get one done soon. Anyway, I'm going to wish you all well. I want to finish this off and get to bed, so I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for joining, everybody.